Hi everyone and welcome to day 23. We've got another 15 minutes of time together again today, or time to yourself today, should I say. You just got me in the background because it's all more about you connecting with yourself. So we're just going to do a mini sequence today actually. So it's like getting one of my big yoga classes. We're just going to condense it down into about 15 minutes. So hopefully this will work out all right for you all. But as always, getting yourself in a comfortable position. We're just going to center ourselves into our body. So this time maybe placing one hand on the heart, one hand to the belly. And start tuning in right from the beginning to that life-giving breath. Noticing your inhales and your exhales. I'm going to see if it's available to you to do a little pranayama technique. It's just where we extend the exhale. So just taking a note of the natural count of your inhale. For me it's 3, and we're just going to see if we can elongate that exhale to double that figure, so in this case 6. Just continuing to do this. If you are suffering from any anxiety or anything like that, you're pregnant, we're just going to allow our breath to be normal. And instead of sending our focus to that count, we're just going to send our focus to the sensations in the body. The rise and the fall of the chest, the inflation and the deflation of the belly. Maybe just do one more round of this breath. And after that next exhale, allowing the hands to float down on top of the thighs. Drop your chin in towards your chest. Blink the eyes open to a point in front before slowly tilting that chin upwards and taking in the room once more. We're going to make our way onto our mats. So follow me. You probably are already on your mat. It's just my need to be close to you when we do our opening. That means I'm not on my mat. And we're just going to start off in our tabletop pose. So setting up with wrists underneath shoulders and knees underneath hips. We're going to walk up the spine. We're going to warm up the spine with those lovely cat and cow poses. So guided by our breath. On the inhale, curl the toes, drop the belly, lift the chest, the head and the neck. The exhale, bring the chin in towards the chest. We pull that belly button up towards the sky and lay those feet nice and flat. So inhale to tuck the toes, drop the belly, and the chest, the neck and the head. And on the exhale, chin in towards the chest, belly button up towards the sky and the feet nice and flat. And just doing one more round. Allowing the breath to guide. After that next exhale, just coming back to that tabletop pose. We're going to walk our hands slightly in front of our shoulders this time. You can always slightly rotate out the wrist, not the wrist, the arms. So it's like opening a jam jar. So if your fingers may be pointing to the top corners of the mat rather than being straight on. It's about finding a position that feels good for you. And then when you're ready, with an inhale, tuck the toes once more. And on the exhale, we're going to send the sit bones up and back, coming into our downward facing dog. So pedaling out the feet. You'll probably notice if you have any shoulder tightness, actually taking the hands ever so slightly wider feels a lot better for you. So it's just about carefully playing around with the pose, working out what feels good for you and your body. Still going to be pulling that belly button in towards the spine, seeing if we can get our ears in line with the biceps. Taking one more inhale here, and then on the exhale, we're just going to lower those knees down to the mat and curl the toes. And then with the next inhale, we're going to bring that body weight forward into assisted plank, so shoulders come over wrists. Pull that button in, belly button in tight. Inhale here, and then on the exhale, we're going to bend the elbows, keeping them very close to the rib cage. We're just going to lower that body all the way down onto the mat. With an inhale, peel the chest, the neck and the head up, coming into our baby cobra. And exhale to release all the way back down. Inhale to tuck the toes under, and then exhale using the strength in the arms. We're going to push our bodies up and back, coming in to our downward facing dog once more. Just taking a couple of breaths here as we pedal out the feet or keeping them still, doing what feels good for you and your body. And then with the next inhale, walking those feet all the way to the top of the mat, bringing ourselves into Uttanasana, our forward fold, so bending those knees comfortably, allowing the chest to feel heavy on the top of the thighs, allowing the arms to hang heavy, hands to hang heavy, head to hang heavy. Just taking a moment of pause. With the next inhale, bring the hands onto the shins, half forward fold. Bring those shoulder blades in towards one another. And then exhale, releasing all the way back down one more time. Inhale to sweep the arms around up. Overhead fingertips or palms to touch at the top. And exhale, we're going to swan dive all the way back down. So hinging forward at the hips. Bring that torso back down to the top of the thighs. Hands back towards the mat, so hovering just above. Inhaling, hands to shins, half forward fold. And exhale, bring the hands either side of the feet. We're going to step the left foot back. And we're going to shimmy that right foot in towards the middle of our mat, underneath the torso. And we're just going to bring that back leg just so we can land that left heel on the mat. Setting up for warrior two. With an inhale, using the strength of those abdominal muscles, bring that torso up into a nice upright position, tucking that tailbone under. And with an inhale, sweeping the right hand out in front and the left hand out behind. Inhale to spin the palms to face up, and exhale to flick just the wrist back over. We're just going to take a couple of breaths here, feeling that strength throughout the body, feeling that prana running through as our energy. With the next inhale, we're going to just turn the hand over on the front, so the palm faces up. On the exhale, we're going to sweep that right hand to come behind us as the left hand travels down that left thigh, coming into reverse warrior. Inhale here, and the exhale, we're going to spin all the way back to our warrior two. So we're going to carry on doing this, working with our breath, allowing the breath to guide that movement. Just do this one more time. Taking in another inhale when you come back to that warrior two. And then on the exhale, we're going to windmill that left arm over. And we're slowly going to spin onto the balls of that back foot as we bring the hands back down onto the mat. Hips now facing the front of the mat once more. With an inhale, stepping the right foot back to meet the left foot, coming into our plank, or having knees down, assisted plank. Inhale here. And on the exhale, the knees first from one unit, slowly lowering the body all the way back down onto the mat and curling the toes. With an inhale, peeling the chest, the head and the neck up, coming into baby cobra. And an exhale to release all the way back down. Inhale to tuck the toes under, and exhale to send those sit bones up and back, coming once more into downward facing dog. Again, pulling that belly button up towards the sky, pedaling out the feet, keeping still, making this practice uniquely you. Then just take one more breath here. And then on the exhale, we're just going to lower those knees down onto the mat and curl the toes. With the next inhale, we're going to step that left foot up towards the front of the mat. We're going to set up for warrior two again. So just shimmying that left foot so it sits more in the middle of the mat, hands either side. With your next inhale, curling the back toes under and lift that back knee. We're just going to step that back foot in ever so slightly so we can land that right heel on the floor, and we're looking for that front heel to be cutting the archway of that back foot. When you're ready, with an inhale, peeling that torso up into that upright position, belly button tucked in, tailbone tucked under. Inhale, we're going to send the left hand out in front and the right hand out behind. Sending our drishti over that middle finger on the front hand. Inhale to open both palms up to the sky, and exhale to just flick this wrist back over. And feel the strength of this pose just for a couple of breaths before we start moving between the reverse warrior and warrior two flow. So with the next inhale, turning just the front wrist over, the palms facing up, and then the exhale, coming it into our reverse warrior. So right hand travels down that right leg as the left hand comes overhead. Inhale all the way back to our warrior two. Exhale to our reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Just doing this a couple more times. Working with your own breath. The next time you come to warrior two, just holding it for one more breath here. And then the exhale, we're going to spin that right hand forward as we windmill all the way down, spinning onto the ball of our back foot. Now with our next inhale, stepping that back foot up to meet the front foot, bring hands onto the shins, coming into a half forward fold. Exhale to release all the way back down, hands either side of the feet. We're going to come down onto our knees now. And we're going to spin onto our palms. So taking our Sukhasana, our easy seat. You decide which leg you want to go in front, which behind. Remember, you can always sit in a block if you want to elevate your hips, or place blocks at either side under the knees. We're just going to go into a forward fold. So we just want to make sure that both sit bones are firmly rooted. And again, imagine a piece of string pulling us up from the crown of the head. With an inhale, floating the arms up and overhead. And an exhale, we're going to hinge forward at the hips. Bring the hands down towards the floor in front of us. Pausing to take our inhale. And then our exhale, we can walk those hands further forward. Pausing again for the inhale. And then the exhale, taking us to the point where it's a nice stretch. And then just allowing the body to melt back down, releasing any tension in the shoulders, the neck, and the head. Remembering to breathe fully and deeply in and out through the nostrils. And with the next inhale, we're going to walk those hands back in towards the body. Bring the torso back into that nice upright position. Now's our opportunity to change over which leg goes in front. And then once more, in this new position, we're just going to ground firmly into our seat bones. And with an inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead once more. Inhaling here, fingers to the sky, and exhale, start hinging forward at the hips. Taking that moment of pause when you need to inhale. And then exhale, continuing, walking those hands forward just till you feel a nice stretch in the body. Making sure neither of the sit bones have secretly crept up off the floor. You still want to keep them on the floor. If they have, just bring the torso slightly upright once more just so they can reground them. But listening to your body, finding that nice stretch. And when you do, just allowing the top half of the body to melt down, to be taken in by the earth's gravitational pull. Yeah, lovely stretch. Now when you're ready, with an inhale, walking the hands back up towards the legs, bring that torso back into an upright position. We're just going to spin around to the side of our mat now. So keeping the bum in the middle, hands behind the backs of the thighs. We're slowly going to lower the body down, one vertebra at a time, using those hands as an anchor on the thighs, just to allow that really slow release consciously all the way down onto the mat. And straighten up both legs, pointing all 10 toes up towards the sky. Bring the shoulder blades in towards one another down the back. Palms facing up. We'll just finish off with a couple of stretches. So when you're ready, we're going to bring that left foot up onto the mat, bending that left knee. Inhaling here. And then on the exhale, drawing that left knee in towards the body. You can either interlace your fingers in front of the shin bone or behind that left thigh. So picking whichever option feels good for you, and just being mindful that we still want those shoulders to be firmly grounded into the floor. And not forgetting about our lovely little toes, they should still be pointing up towards the ceiling. So just feeling this glorious stretch down the legs. And when you're ready, we can release that left foot back down onto the mat and send it out long to meet the right one. Taking another inhale here, maybe pushing those heels towards the wall in front. And then on the exhale, we're going to draw that right foot up onto the mat, this time bending in at the right knee. Taking in another glorious inhale here. Before on the exhale, drawing that right knee in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers either in front of that right shin or behind that right thigh. All 10 toes still pointing up towards the sky. Shoulders still firmly into the ground. Remembering to breathe. Then when you're ready, just allowing that right foot to re-find the floor. We're going to keep that right knee bent, and the left knee is going to join that right knee as we bring the sole of the left foot back onto the mat. Take another breath here. And on the exhale, drawing both knees in towards the chest, and once more interlacing the fingers in front of the shins or behind the thighs. Doing a nice massage for the lower back, so either rocking from side to side or drawing circles with the knees in one direction and then into another. And when you're ready, releasing the hands behind the thighs or in front of the shins, we're just going to allow the feet to drop down, back down onto the earth. And just allow the soles of the feet to find one another, and allow those knees to naturally open apart. They're settled down. Again, you can grab blocks, blankets, pillows to prop under the legs if this is uncomfortable. And as we finish off the practice, we're just going to remember our 4 intentions, this time without the hand mudras. The intention for a joyful and energetic body. The intention to have a loving and compassionate heart. Intention, having a clear, reflective and alert mind. Finally, the intention to have lightness in our being. Our option is to stay here for as long as comfortable, as long as the body and the mind needs. But as soon as you do want to move, just bring the hands to the outside of the thighs, just so you can help push those knees back to centre. And then when you're ready, only when you're ready, then rolling over onto that left side. And let yourself just rest in this lovely fetal position. And again, only when you feel ready, slowly using the strength in the arms, pushing yourself back up into that upright position. If you're fortunate enough to have a few more minutes, I highly recommend just staying lying in that beautiful Shavasana, absorbing all that yogi work that you've just done. And guys, we've done it another day, so I shall see some of you, maybe all of you, again tomorrow. From my heart to yours, namaste.